Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, how did my camera get screwed up? Okay, hang on. This is good. This is a good way to start. I mean, it is. It's a good, solid way to start. That's a little better. A little better. A little better. Well, hey, Mel Bailey. Yay! Okay, so, I got to pull up Facebook. Can I do it without glasses? No, I cannot. So, okay, what's going on? There we go. Okay, now I'm going to have to redirect myself and see me over here, like the Facebook thing. Well, you know what? These things are called portable phones, so I could move the damn thing. How about that? Oh my gosh. Okay, seriously, don't know what is happening with me. Well, I do know what's happening with me. I have been on antibiotics more in this month than I have been off of them. That's fun, isn't it? So, just a fun little ear infection. No big deal. Not a problem. But at least it wasn't strep or anything like that. It was just an ear infection and, of course, congestion, so drainage, and my hair is doing some weird stuff. Y'all, I'm going back to my optometrist. Yeah, optometrist, not ophthalmologist. I'm going back to the optometrist because I can't see anything with these contacts. I can see far away really great, but considering that I need to be able to put my eyelashes on and I can't, can't see to put my makeup on or my eyelashes on. This is a problem. I'm very vain. Eyelashes, huge part of my life. I mean, really. So anyway, thank you guys so much for kind of giving me a bit of a break on Tuesday because, I mean, earaches are the worst, aren't they? Hi! I definitely am feeling better. You guys, look at this. So, I do appreciate you giving me, a break on Tuesday because, I mean, earaches and toothaches, those are just the worst. To be fair, I've been told that earaches, ears in general, heal really fast. They heal very quickly, which is great. So you could have a ruptured eardrum, which is painful, but it also heals very quickly. So, all right. I want to get into this because, and I'm going to be telling you guys some stories, all right? Because while I was sort of incapacitated, and honestly, while my finger, while I was dealing with a painful injury on my finger and keeping it raised above my head, I was watching a lot of videos. I was watching a lot of the people I follow on YouTube. I was watching a lot of stuff on Netflix and really a lot of old episodes of The Big Bang Theory. I can't dive deep into that. Oh, I got a new lid for my jar. It's kind of nice because it has a handle, but it also doesn't leak. It's fantastic news right there. So I was watching a lot of videos and I watched this video and it was giving a percentage of things that you remember when you're told a story to associate it with versus just giving you statistics versus just saying, well, statistically speaking, these numbers or this date or whatever, but you remember it better when you tell a story. Can you guys hear me okay? Oh my gosh. BBT, the British stuff. Oh, because I love, oh my gosh, I love British television. I just do. I love like all that. It's crazy. By the way, if that is British, there is a fantastic, fantastic show on Amazon Prime. It's called Very British Problems. I mean, Kelsey, you will laugh your ass off. I cannot do this with my hair. You will laugh your ass off with that, Kelsey. I'm not kidding. I love it. I mean, oh my gosh. It was just like when I discovered that like all the Doctor Who's were on Amazon Prime. All of them. Yeah. Like, I think I would do well with a TARDIS. I'm just saying. Okay. So, anyway, back to the reason I'm going to be telling a lot of stories is because I did hear that in one of the videos I was watching, that it was just like, you know, people will remember it if you can remember things, if you can associate it with a story. So I'm going to be associating these things with a story. First of all, I typed up some really good stuff, and then I was practicing using, it's not an AI. Well, I guess it is kind of an AI, but it helps you like you type in what you want to write, and then it like corrects the it's sort of like Grammarly. I guess it corrects your grammar and makes it sound better. Okay, so we're going to talk about the law of attraction. Okay, so law of attraction and manifesting, they're connected, right? They're very similar practices. They're not the same, but they're similar. All right, they're not wildly different philosophies. They are very, very similar. Why did my notes just go away? What the hell? Okay. They're just very similar. They have a lot of similarities. There's a lot of like good stuff, and it can help you get to your goals. It can help you achieve what you want. Okay. So, the pretty thing that was written was that these are interconnected practices rooted in the beliefs of thoughts and intentions can shape reality. I do feel like law of attraction and manifesting are definitely things that we can use. They're philosophies, they're tools that we can use to bring in what it is that we want, the goals, the things that we want to achieve, the stuff that we are really looking for in our lives, or the things that we feel like are missing. We can bring them in somehow, right? The law of attraction is more of the concept of positive or negative thoughts, and that you attract those in as an experience into your life. It's based in the like attracts life. So where your like attracts like, not life. I don't know if I said that correctly. In my head, it came out life, but I was trying to say like. Like attracts like. So where we're focusing on a positive belief, that means that we can draw more positive things in. That's the kicker, right? Manifesting is something a little more practical, because when when we manifest, we have to actively work towards something. It's an action word. Manifesting is something where you're putting in the energy to bring in and materialize what it is that you actually want. So that is a different, it's the same but different. So the law of attraction is more of like theoretical, it's more mental, it's more thinking, it's more of your mindset, whereas the manifesting is visualization, but it's action. It's action based. It's like, instead of just thinking about it, you're creating something that gives you like a vision board. You're creating something that puts you like closer to your goal. Okay. So, what, and I want to clear some of these things up, because here's my problem. I feel like there's so many people, and this is another reason why I'm addressing this. I feel like there are so many people online these days that have become like spiritual gurus. Now, I'm not saying they're not, okay? But I see this a lot. And the reason why I see it a lot is because I have done it myself, all right? I went to school and I studied a very practical discipline. I studied biology, I studied chemistry. It's very practical. Not a lot of spirituality in that, I'm going to tell you right now, because there was a lot of people that I worked with, excuse me, or that I went to school with that did not understand when I would be like, you want me to pull some cards for you? They did not get that. So it wasn't something that I talked about like all the time. I mean, most of the time you can kind of get the idea that I had some sort of like woo woo thing going on, but I didn't talk about it all the time. Now, it's something that I've been doing for a very long time. Again, I've told you guys many times, like actually a lady I worked with went and helped me buy my first deck of cards. She took me to the Phoenix and Dragon and she helped me like order my first deck of cards. And actually, she didn't take me to the Phoenix and Dragon when I got my first deck of cards, but she did take me there later. That's a store here in Atlanta. It's a big, like metaphysical store. And she took me there, I believe it was 1995. And I was just like, I'm in. I mean, it was just really interesting. She taught me a lot about reading cards. She was like really great and helped me to understand I did not like the tarot. I didn't like the rules that were around them. It drove me nuts. I mean, 25 years later, I finally picked up the tarot. But for a really long time, as I told you guys last week, I used oracle cards. So I am not negating the fact that some of these people are having spiritual moments. It does not surprise me because Neptune has been in Pisces, its home sign, for the last 14 years. And a lot of people did have like some spiritual epiphany, or they had like some spiritual connection that wasn't there before. And so I watch all these people online, like some of these influencers and stuff, and they're talking about empowerment and they're talking about like their spiritual practice or whatever. I am not negating that they have a spiritual practice. I am just saying I don't think they really know what that empowerment means. I don't think they understand what the word empowerment means. I don't think they completely understand like a spiritual practice. Because a spiritual practice isn't just saying, this is Jennifer's opinion, okay? A spiritual practice isn't just saying, like I'm limiting myself, or I need to just like open myself up more, or I need to go live in a commune or whatever. No, a spiritual practice is helping you to understand that you are a spiritual being, but you are having a physical experience. So, yes, you need to be out there making money because you got to eat. And until this world shifts back to the bartering system, I don't know. I mean, capitalism doesn't look like it's going to die. But I'm just saying you have to have an occupation. And what is interesting to me is like one of my clients is actually a minister. And actually, several of my clients are ministers. And they have pointed out to me several times that when you look at the Bible, which I believe in all religions, by the way, when you look at the Bible, Jesus did not recruit, let's say, disciples that did not have careers. I mean, Matthew, I think, was a tax assessor. Correct me if I'm wrong on all of these, okay? Most of them were fishermen, he was a carpenter, right? I mean, these were people that had actual jobs. They had like some sort of, they had some sort of direction, all right? It wasn't just that they were like willy-nilly out there like ministering, although I do understand that this is where they were being led, but even after Jesus left, a lot of them continued working. They had a job. They still were ministers. They still were disciples, but they had jobs. I'm just saying. I think a lot of people mistake the law of attraction and manifesting into a place of just saying, I want an easier life. I want something that I don't have to work for. So I'm just going to attract this in. I'm just going to manifest the money that I need, or, whatever. And I don't think that is the right way to go. It's the story of the people that were stranded in a boat in the ocean, and they prayed as hard as they could, but they also rowed the boat as hard as they could. They didn't just sit there and go, I'm good. We're asking for help. They prayed as hard as they could, but they also rowed as hard as they could. On the flip side, there's a man who is stranded in the ocean, and a boat comes up and says, "Hey, we're here to rescue you. Let us help you." And he says, "No, God is going to take care of me." Okay. Second, a helicopter comes by and is like, "Hey, let us rescue you." And he's like, "No, God is going to take care of me. God is going to take care of me." Last one is like a submarine or something that comes up to the surface and says, "Hey, we're here to rescue you." And he's like, "No, I'm good. God's going to take care of me. Do your thing, dude, whatever." So he dies. He dies. When he goes to heaven, he asks God, he goes, "Why didn't you rescue me?" And God's like, "Okay, dude, I sent a boat, I sent a helicopter, and a submarine. What you need?" This is the kind of shit I'm talking about, okay? You can manifest yourself, or law of attraction yourself, into a multitude of manure. And I'm saying this as someone who has done it, okay? I have a ton of ideas. I have a ton of ideas. When I'm around the right people, it's like the energy just flows, and I have a ton of ideas. Problem is, I don't have a ton of time. The problem is I overcommit myself. So what I've started doing is just giving those ideas away. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you should do this." Not me. I can't do it right now. It's a great idea. Here it is. It's on the table for anybody that wants to take it, because I overcommitted myself into a space that I didn't realize how depressed I was. And I was very much trying to distract myself from all the stuff that was going on with me that I was just trying to ignore. So last year, really, I pulled my head out of my ass. Maybe towards the end of 2024, I started to pull my head out of my ass, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get some stuff done. I'm going to make some stuff happen. It took a long time for me. It really did. And it's taken me a long time to clean up the mess that I had when I was depressed, when I was in a bad space. And honestly, I thought for a long time that, because I had so many miscarriages, I thought for a long time that, like, there was something, I was undeserving of a child, and that's why I kept having all these miscarriages. And I didn't want to talk about it, but I had to talk about it. I had to tell people, but I didn't want to talk about it. It was just horrible. And so instead of me just going, "Oh my gosh, I deserve this. I've just been a bad person," because I've told you guys, I was an asshole in my 20s. I finally went to a doctor, and she was this really nice, extremely smart, down to earth little Jewish lady. And she was like, "Has anybody ever read a blood panel on you?" I was like, "No." And she was like, shame on you. You're a biologist. You should have asked for this. I thought I was being punished. So, so I had been asking for help. I'd been asking Spirit for help. I'd been just saying, tell me what is wrong with me. Tell me what is wrong with me. So I was listening to this lady at work one day. She was talking about how much she loved her doctor. And I was like, can I get her number? I went to her. She ran a blood panel and she saw that I have a clotting disorder. And that's why I had miscarriages so many times. And I was like, oh. And she was like, this is an easy thing to solve, but it's not without its complications. Okay. So great. That was awesome. But the thing is, we have to understand when we're asking for something, when we're drawing something in, a solution may come up that you didn't envision. Something may come up that you didn't envision. Now, I have a whole chart here. Because I like charts. All right. And can somebody double check me? I hate to put you guys to work, but I'm just curious because I meant to do this and then I was having some glitches trying to get like connected. Steve Jobs, will somebody look at his birthday and double check that he is a life path 1? That is what I have on my list, is that Steve Jobs was a life path 1. I have a reason for this, I swear. I don't know who is on Facebook because I haven't seen their name pop up yet, but I just see all of you guys here in the chat on YouTube. So what I wanted to say until then is that using law of attraction, using manifesting can go hand in hand. I was trying to attract in some answers about what was going wrong with me. I was focused on, tell me what is wrong with me. Tell me what is wrong with me. But the answer came into me by listening to a lady that I was working with, and she was like, oh my gosh, I love my doctor. I love my doctor. And I was like, can I get her number? The manifesting part was me getting the number and calling. That is the action. That's the manifesting. If I had just put that lady's number, if I had just put that doctor's number on my refrigerator and left it there for months, how did that help? The law of attraction brought that number into me. The manifesting was me getting up off my ass, calling her, and making that shit happen. Does that make sense? I mean, it's crazy how it's crazy how some of these things happen. Now, I know I've told you guys this story, and I didn't realize at first because a lot of the people that I did readings for in Denver, in Colorado, were people that I ended up like knowing really well. They were people that I ended up like really connecting with, and I still read for some of them now. And I haven't lived in Denver in 13 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 13 years. So I didn't realize when I would tell them stuff or when I would see things like in the cards, when I would talk to them about their numbers, that not everybody would like put energy into what they wanted. I didn't realize that until I moved here, until I moved back to Georgia. And I started working here, and I started encountering a different kind of client, let's say. So I think I've told you guys this. Thank you, Mel. Thank you so much. Wait, Kelsey, you hate vision boards? I've always wanted to do a vision board. Dude, okay, Kelsey, I know you'll hate vision boards, but what if we do a vision board together, or I start like showing you how to do one for yourself? And I'll show you how I do mine, which is very unorthodox. What a shocker. Okay. So, oh, yes. All right. So I was reading for this woman and her daughter. Her daughter, was in her 30s, I think. Or no, she was in her 30s. She had just had her Saturn returns, and they were talking about that they wanted to leave Georgia and they wanted to go, like, they wanted to live somewhere else. And I was like, okay, okay. So I start like doing the reading for them, and I was like, I said, you need to move someplace where you can have a garden. And and they were like, "Oh, yeah, we wanna move someplace that has, like, water." And I was like, "Wow, okay." And, so I start looking, we start doing our reading. North Carolina came up, or Virginia. Now I can't remember. Anyway, it was another state. And I was like, "This is where you're gonna wanna look. This is where you're gonna wanna pay attention and put your energy into, and really put some focus and stuff into that." Now, about 2 months later, they came back and they didn't want to talk to me. Okay. I mean, hey, I like myself, but that is not a contagious feeling. Not everybody likes me. That's okay. So I was like, okay, no problem. I mean, have a good day. And the mother was so angry. She was retired. She was in her 60s. And like they were living together. And I think she had some medical issues that her daughter like helped with. And she said, "Well, you told us that we were going to be living in yada yada and we were going to be doing all this." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Did you like," I looked at the daughter. I was like, "Did you look for jobs there?" She was like, "No." "Did you look for houses there?" "No." "Did you visit there?" "No." I hate to tell you this, but like the state of Virginia is not going to come to you, or whatever state it was, is not going to come to you and be like, "Hun, hun, hun, we have this fantastic opportunity for you. We have a house, we have a job lined up for you. We've got it all set. All you have to do is show up and sign the mortgage papers and just start receiving your paychecks." That is not how that shit works. It's not. And it drives me absolutely crazy when people don't implement action. So then I started thinking, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the way it is." Like now we're getting into a day and age where nobody wants to do anything. Like they want to be presented with this. They want to be presented with the opportunity, but they want it wrapped up in a nice little bow. They don't want to do anything to make this happen for themselves. So I kind of I kind of like shifted the way I do my readings. Then I started asking my guides to give me percentages. I was like, give me percentages so I can help people. Because if we change our minds about something, and I say this all the time, if you don't like your reading, if you don't like the way that we see things as whatever intuitive that you're going to, change your mind about something. I mean, change your mind, go to a different grocery store, see a different hairdresser. Like stop and get a burger at a place that you don't normally go to. Change your mind about something. You would be surprised at how it affects your life. Now, again, there's a reason why I'm saying all this. I know. This is why I have notes, because I will ramble. Have y'all met me? I mean, oh my gosh, I'm like crazy. Oh my god, and I've already been talking for 30 minutes. The leaders for Pampered Chef love vision boards, so they want us to make them every year. I feel like they're a waste of time. Okay. I love that. And I am going to use Kelsey, that is in the chat on YouTube, as an example. All right. So Kelsey doesn't like vision boards. Somebody is like elbowing her into doing it. Is she going to make a good vision board? No, because she doesn't want to do it. It's that mindset. It's already there. That's not a bad thing, Kelsey. It's not. I really, there are many times throughout the year that I like tear up a vision board, that I will throw that shit out and be like, "Oh, we need to start all over. That's not going to work." And, that's what I do. I digress. But the thing about it is that if you want something, you have to change your mind because it's obviously not in the place where you are right now. If you want something that is not currently in your life, you've got to change something in order to bring it in. This is what is so hard for me to explain to people because I have somebody right now who is so unhappy with his job. He hates it. He absolutely hates his job. I don't even know why he is still talking to me because I have done everything but whack this man upside his head because I'm just like, if you don't like your job, why aren't you go back to school? And he's like, I'm in my 40s. I'm like, I don't give a shit. My grandmother went to school in her 40s for the very first time in her entire life to get a nursing degree because she always dreamed about being a nurse. When she was in her 50s, she went and got an additional nursing degree because she felt like she was smart, and she was like, they don't recognize that unless you have more letters after your name. I think that is impressive, and she worked until she was in her 70s. And she said to me one day, she was like, she passed away in her early 90s. But she said to me one day, she said, I really think I'm going to have to really, really retire. And I was like, haven't you already retired once? And she goes, yeah, but I went back part-time. And she said, to be quite honest, they just don't want to insure a 75-year-old recovery room nurse. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, that's the thing. She wanted to be a nurse. So she found a way to go to school. She found a way to achieve her dream. She manifested it. But it didn't start with the action. It started with the mindset. So, whatever you want in your life, whatever you're missing currently, it has to start with the mindset. It has to start with the law of attraction. So we're in the law of attraction, which is the magnet, all right? We're sitting there and we're like, we're going to draw in whatever it is that we need to, we need this energy to build. We need to get this phone number for this doctor. We need to get the money to go back to school. We need to, I don't know, find someone with skilled labor that's not going to be a pirate and build a deck. Guess what I need? A deck built. But the thing is, you have to sit in that mindset and you have to start thinking about it. The law of attraction is typically very quiet. The law of attraction starts right here. It starts with you just thinking about it, not focusing on what you don't have, but sitting and saying, what can I do to find somebody to help me build a deck? What can I do to get myself back in school? What can I do to find a different job? Now, the man that I'm talking to you about that a different job, he feels like he's too old to go back to school. Okay, well, why don't you just apply to other places? No one's hiring. That's bullshit. I mean, yes, there are places that are not hiring. And I was like, well, if you're just wanting a job, why don't you go look at Costco or Sam's? There's got to be a Costco or a Sam's near you. And he was like, well, those people aren't happy in their jobs either. Do you know everybody that works at Costco and Sam's? Do you know all of those people? Do you have a membership to that particular organization? And he was like, no, I don't. And I went, you want to check with them? You want to investigate a little bit here? And he's just like, well, I tried to apply for them. I tried to apply with them one time, and hang on, I gotta sneeze. Okay, I thought there was another one. Sorry. He said he thought he tried to apply with them one time and he applied on the wrong website or something. And then he got like completely spammed with messages. Okay. And I was like, well, get a VPN and reapply. I mean, come on. And he was just like, well, hang on, something. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with my phone. I said, well, reapply. And he was like, well, okay, but really, are those people that happy? I was like, how do you know? I mean, and I said, you have to go and look. You have to go and investigate. Well, he still hasn't, by the way. Again, I don't know why he still talks to me. Because he called me and he was like, there's a program I'm really interested in at this trade school. I was like, that is great. And he goes, yeah, but like, how long would I really work in this job? And he's like, I'm in my 40s. And I went, dude, I just want to let you know, none of us are going to be able to retire. Do you think that Social Security is going to be around? And I was like, and plus that, my dad just retired a couple of years ago, and he is 72. What are you thinking? I'm like, even if you got a job right now, you could at least be there for 20 years. At least. So he had talked himself out of it before he even got on the phone with me. Even though I kept telling him, I was like, this is a really good opportunity. This is awesome. You should really look into this. How much you want to bet he hasn't? I haven't talked to him. So, well, let me rephrase that. I haven't talked to him in about, a minute. But the thing is, and what really bothers me, is that he is putting those limiting beliefs on himself. He is putting that out there. And nobody, no amount of readers or whoever he goes to is going to be able to talk him out of that. Nobody. And so when I realized that, I was just like, I don't really, and I did say to him, I was like, I don't really know why you still come to me. And he was like, well, you make me feel better when I get off the phone. You make me feel like I could actually accomplish something. And I was like, why do I do that? And he was like, because you're so positive. And I'm literally telling him, why do you still call me? Like, I don't understand you. You don't make any sense. So that's something that we have to work on, is the negativity in our own heads. Somebody on the outside of you may be talking you up. Somebody from, again, on the outside of your brain can be saying, oh my gosh, Kelsey, you rock the Casbah. You are freaking awesome. Mel, you are out there kicking it in the teeth, girl. You're making stuff happen. Holy crap. You are awesome. I mean, all of this, and I can see, oh, hello. I'm like looking at everybody now. Now I can finally see. But I can say this all the live long day. But if you are not hearing it in your head, you're never going to get anywhere. You're going to be spinning your wheels. So that is not something that is going to go away overnight. And I'm telling you this because I still have to stop myself and say, girl, what are you doing? That's enough of the negativity. I have like a time, and this is what I do. I give myself like 5 minutes to vent. I will set an alarm on my phone. I'm not kidding. I set an alarm on my phone and I go to town. I will unload. I will be like, I will talk to myself in the mirror and I will be like, you need to get off your butt. You need to go do this. You've been dealing with this for too long. You've been da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Because the reason why I do this is because I don't want to sweep it under the rug. All right? if you feel some kind of way about yourself, about people around you or whatever, you've got to express it in some way. You can't sweep it under the rug. It's just going to build up. And then it's going to be like Mount Vesuvius, and it's going to explode all over the place. And it's not going to be pretty. So you have to get it out. So I give myself that time, that 5 minutes where I just unload. Then I sit back and I go, all right, that's what's going on. How are you going to fix it? Let's do something positive. We unloaded all the negative. How are you going to fix it? What are you going to do? And then I start, like, let's say downloading some problem solving. I'm like, okay, I'm working on a project right now where I am painting one of my kids' rooms, and we're moving through a room, at a time. I'm starting off with one of the boys' rooms, and I have to stain the shelves and put up on the walls. And I don't want to put the shelving up on the walls until I have the walls painted, but I haven't been able to paint because it's so cold right now. So you can't really crack open the window, And I also can't stain the shelves because it's been so cold outside. You can't actually use the gel stain when it's this cold outside. So it's been a delay, all right? But I was like, there's some things that I can do that I'm tired of. Like, there's some things that I can work around here. So I started by patching holes in the walls. I started by, like, okay, let me look at some different fabric for the headboard that I want to make for him, the curtains that I want to tie in. Like, what can I do here? So it's given me a different way to go. It also, because I haven't been able to paint, I was able to change one of the paint colors. Yeah. So now he has a dual tone room. It's still in green. It's still like one of his favorite colors. But I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, we can go in this direction. We can do this. I can do this. And because of the delay, I was able to put a little more money into the budget for his room. I don't know when I'm going to finish it. I mean, how long is this cold spell supposed to last? Can't law of attraction your way out of this. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, I know it's not as cold here as it is in Nebraska, but holy crap, it's cold. So it has helped me, because then when I started problem solving, I was like, oh, there are still some things that I can do. There's little things that need to be done, like all of the face plates for the outlets and the switch plate for the light switch. All that needs to be changed. There's just all these little things that need to be done. Again, repairing holes, just looking, do I want to paint the windowsills? Like, what do I want to do? It's giving me some time. It's also giving me time to force him to weed through some of these toys. Yeah, that's super fun. Yes. I always call it doomsday thinking. Yes, intelligent people often struggle with it because they have a tendency to think things through to such an extent that it leads to decision paralysis. Oh my gosh, I love, love, love that you brought that up, because it is decision paralysis. The thing is, there's old sayings that help out a lot. Where there's a will, there's a way. So if you have the will, if you have that in your mindset, if you feel inspired, if you start to change your thinking, if you start to change your mindset, you'll start to see that there's a different way out. It brings in creativity. It sparks that interest and says, okay, I've got the creative juices flowing, and that actually leads you to manifesting, which is also a very creative process. But the law of attraction can help you bring in confidence, because it's a you energy. It's not a us and them energy. The law of attraction is a you energy. It is about you. That's why it's quiet. That's why it's focused. That's why you're looking for inspiration. But when you're looking for it, you also have to be in a place of receiving it. That is important, okay? You have to be in a place of receiving it. The law of attraction worked for me when I was looking for a reason why I was having a medical condition. And I heard someone mentioning that they liked their doctor. I received that. Who is she? Where is she? Can I get her phone number? Excellent. All of that was law of attraction. I was inspired. I received that information. Now I take that information and move over to the manifesting column because now it's time to do the work. So law of attraction, and this is a big reason why I am discussing this. The 1 year that we are currently in encompasses both things. It is law of attraction, but it's also manifesting. Now, next year, when we're in an 11-2 year, that is going to be more centered on the law of attraction. It's not going to be it's not going to be both. It's mostly, you can manifest at any given time, but the 11-2 is always more focused and centered around law of attraction, just like the 22-4 and the 44-8 energy is about manifesting. So, when we are looking at this year, this 2026 year, this beautiful year, and we're getting ready to move into the horse energy, this is a time that we can both work with the law of attraction and manifest. And we're kind of given that energy in this vibration of a 1. And I asked Mel Bailey, and thank you so much for looking this up. I asked you guys to look and see if Steve Jobs was a 1. Steve Jobs was a 1 life path number. This is perfect. He could see and like see what he wanted with Apple, right? He could see what he wanted with Macintosh. Was it just law of attraction that he worked with? No, he manifested that. He worked hard to create it as well. So when we're in this law of attraction time, we're that magnet. We're seeing potential. We're accepting inspiration. We're focused. We're dreaming. We're in this creative space. It's a you energy. We have to focus on our thinking and our mindset. This is a quiet part. The law of attraction is a quiet part. Now, when we move over to manifesting, manifesting is action. Manifesting is taking action. That's me taking that phone number of that physician and actually calling her, making the appointment, showing up, and doing what she says. That is action. That's doing. That's manifesting. Manifesting takes courage. It does. You want another job? Go out there and apply. You need some skills to add to it. Can you take the classes online? Do you need to be present to take them? What do you want to change your career path? That takes courage. It takes courage to step into that manifesting energy. And I got to tell you that this is probably why the vision board doesn't sit well with Kelsey. Kelsey is like a Pisces through and through. I mean, we've talked about that on here. And I'm talking to the YouTube chat, even though I see you guys in Facebook. But Kelsey's in YouTube. And the thing is with the vision board with you, Kelsey, is that you probably need to get in there and get your hands dirty. Like, the vision board is just going to be like, whatever. Like, you probably already see it in your head. The thing with the vision board is that you need to get in there and do. You need to get in there and operate on it. That's how you're going to figure it out. Pampered Chef, you're probably just like, girl, let me get in there and throw a party. I can talk to you about that. I don't need a vision board for that. I need to outline and go in with like all the new products. By the way, I do love Pamper Chef. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I didn't see. So that's probably why that doesn't work. Now, you don't have to do the law of attraction in order to manifest. The reason why so many people think that you should or recommend that you should do law of attraction before you manifest is because you want to be in the right headspace. All right. I said this all through 2024 because 2024 was a 44-8 year, and that is all about manifesting. However, if you're not in the right headspace or you haven't planted the right seeds, you are going to manifest a load of manure versus a load of gold. You can manifest bad things just as much as you can manifest good things. If you are focused on the wrong thing, you will bring that in unintentionally. And it's like this guy that keeps talking to me about a job. He's like, you know, my wife is just really on me. She doesn't want me in this job anymore because they're really treating me badly. Why are you still there? And he's like, I don't know. I just don't know where to go. But I hate it. I hate walking in there every day. You know, they don't pay me enough. They don't do this. They don't do that. And I was like, all I hear is you saying what they don't do. Why are you not looking for a company that will give you that? Part of his reason is fear. That's really all it is with him. But I've been talking to him for a few years now, and I'm like, where are we at? I mean, I think 4 years solidly, he has been saying he wants another job every time he calls me. And I do not believe that he has applied for the first job. Oop. What he is doing is he's continuing to manifest this woe is me mentality. I'm like, when I look at the cards for him, when I look at his chart, I'm like, if you applied for this position, there's a high percentage that you're going to get it. Apply. All they're going to tell you is yes or no. That's it. There's no in between. You won't maybe get the job for 3 months. No, they're going to say you are hired or thank you very much for applying to this position. It's been filled. Those are the options. You know, they're not going to leave you in limbo forever. But his focus is on the lack. His focus is clearly just like he can't do any better. And which leads me to his current position because he's not doing any better at that job either. They offered him a management position and he said no. And I was like, okay, that makes so much sense to me. Whatever. If I was married to him, I can't even go into that. Oh my gosh. But manifesting is taking action. So his inaction is action. That is a decision. Indecision, doing nothing, having the decision paralysis, that is a decision. And I love that you said that. Thank you so much for saying that. And I'm so sorry, I forgot your name. I just see Bazv. And I believe you're the one from the Netherlands. Am I right about that? I'm not sure. But do I just call you Baz? I can do that. So the thing is, decision paralysis, when you don't make a decision, that is a decision. That's an action. It is. So think about it like that. All right. And if you are drowning yourself in fear and not making a decision, just remember that that means the fear is making that decision for you. It's a decision. Courage is not easy. It is not easy. Oh, I'm so glad. Yay, I'm so glad. Got that right. Well, hello, Pauline. Um, the courage is not easy. It's not. But what it is that you're working through your fear. You're doing it scared. You're just like, okay, I'm really nervous about starting a new job. I'm really nervous about going back to school. I'm really nervous about the paint that I'm about to put on my kid's wall and that he's going to have to live with that for minimum of a year because I'm not repainting this. That's me, by the way. But manifesting is courage. You have to have courage in order to take action. You do. And sometimes, like one of my clients, I told her, she was like, I just don't understand why I'm so nervous. This isn't the first time I've started a new venture. This isn't the first time I've moved in a new direction. And I said, no, but the last time you moved in a new direction, you did it angry. And that gave you a lot more courage. Now, how many of us have ever done that? When somebody told us that we couldn't do something or we shouldn't do something, or they said that we would be, a failure or that we wouldn't be able to achieve something, and we did it to prove them wrong. That's a different kind of courage, but we did it angry. I'm not saying that that's necessarily the right way to go, but let me tell you something. Anger will push people pretty far. I see it all the time. My best friend of 40-something years, God, really telling how old I am right now. Her anger pushed her to change her life. I mean, she's a Cancer, so, it takes a lot to push a Cancer around. But she changed her life. And I love it. I love it for her. And I think it's just made her a bit more, definitely independent, but it pushed her in a direction that she didn't even realize that she was chasing her dreams. She was just pissed. You got to remember that. So that's the thing too, is that sometimes courage or anger will help us focus more. And there are some things that the law of attraction and manifesting have in common, and focus is one of them. That's, in fact, the first thing that I have on my list here. Focus. So whereas the law of attraction, I said inspiration, you're waiting for inspiration to come in. I see that manifesting is also like you need some inspiration, but it's more of ambition. It's more of just like, it's good ambition. It's healthy ambition of just being like, yes, I'm moving in this direction. I'm going there because this is what I want for my life. And you start working your way in that direction. I have another client who is actually, she's the second person that I've ever known that is building a camper van. The last lady that I knew, she is so wonderful. She was doing it in a like a minibus. It was sort of a, I don't know how to say it. It was like kind of one of those buses that you take when you go to the airport and you drop off your car and then you take that little bus to the airport, from the parking place where you park your car. She was building that out. This is somebody who is building out a actual like Mercedes Sprinter van, and it's impressive. I feel kind of responsible for it because I sent her the videos from YouTube. Oh, touring car. That's a good, yeah. I bet that's what it translates to you as, is that, a touring car. This is sort of what this one lady I have right now, she bought a Mercedes Sprinter van. She bought it from, like some kind of like U-Haul or something. I don't know actually where she bought it, but they were using it as just hauling around like equipment and furniture and whatever. So she bought this van and she has started equipping it. she's put down so far. I believe she has insulated it with lamb's wool. I think that's what she's done. Lamb's wool? That seems weird, but I'm pretty sure that's what she told me. So she's insulating it. She's like mapped out where she's putting her bed and her dinette and all that stuff. I just find it impressive. Do you know that she is just a couple of years older than me, and I'm 53? So she is doing this because she's like, yeah, I just want to have something that's mine that I can drive around in, and like, she wants to visit some places. She works from home, so she can pretty much work anywhere. It's very interesting. But she manifested this by taking action. She dipped into her savings. She went out and she bought the van. Then she was like, okay, I got to figure this out. So then she started getting these. There's all these places online where you can get booklets on how to build it, how to do things. So then she started planning. Also action, right? But she's staying focused. She's ambitious about this. She's like renting or buying like tools to use. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I'm like, okay, don't cut your finger off. Oh my gosh. But she's also getting really creative with it, and the law of attraction helped her build her confidence. So now she's building more confidence in the manifesting part. Manifesting is also you energy, but you may need help when you're in the manifesting part. Don't be afraid to ask for help. The law of attraction is 100% you energy. That's you right here. It's you battling against yourself. In manifesting, it's you, I don't want to say battling against other people, but you need to work with other people sometimes when you're manifesting. I'm not saying to compromise your dreams, all right? I'm saying you have to listen to other people and their experience, because I don't think that this woman should be out there using power tools without getting some advice from some other people, because then she really would be calling me from the emergency room and going, Jennifer, can you come pick me up because I've cut off a limb? I can't have her doing that. And she doesn't live that far from me, so I really can't have her doing that. But the thing is, she is a trailblazer. Now, there's been other people that have built camper vans. They're all over the internet, but no one that she knows has done this. She's a trailblazer. And that's what this year is. That one vibration is a trailblazing energy. She's doing something that none of her friends or family has ever done. It's very interesting. I love it. But the other thing that manifesting and law of attraction have in common is dreams. Following your dream. And the dream could change as you are moving through it. Hers is changing, because as she is getting in there, she's like, okay, I want to change this. This isn't going to work for me. It's your van. This is going to be your home on wheels. Go to it, girl. Getting creative, getting the inspiration, both of those things are in each column, in the law of attraction and in manifesting. I just lost my focus. Sorry, lost my focus. But the thing is, manifesting is action. It is not sitting still. So when I hear all of these people online saying that they want to, they're going to manifest like the money that they need to buy a mansion. Okay, do you know what that means? No. Manifesting, and I say this on all of my videos so much, manifesting is not sitting on your ass, drinking a Coors, watching the Love Boat. It's not. Manifesting is work. Law of attraction is you tamping down the negativity. It's working through negativity. because the more you try to focus on the positive, the more negativity is going to come in. It just happens that way. Light attracts dark. It does. So you have to, I don't want to say wage war on it because it's not accurate, but you have to be willing to say, okay, I get you, negativity. I hear what you're saying, but we're going to go this way. I told a client yesterday, she said, there's too many people around me that see the glass as half full. And I said, girl, if they're seeing your glass as half full, tell them it doesn't need to be full because it's halfway full of tequila and you don't need more than a half a glass. Look at it in that respect. You have to do what is right for you, not what's right for me, not what's right for the person sitting beside you or whoever. You have to do what's right for you. And it's like I told the man that was looking for a job, I said, do you really want to leave this company? And he said, yes. And I said, why? And he said, they treat me so badly. And then I come home and I take it out on my family. That's a good reason for wanting to leave. And I said, so why are you still there? Because has it changed how you treat your family? Are you changing the way you treat your family? And he's like, no. And I went, are you going to keep fighting with your wife? Are you going to keep this up? Like, how long do you think she's going to stay if you keep aggravating the hell out of her? Not long. Doesn't sound like you're bringing a lot to the table. You're in a job that you hate that's making not a lot of money, and you're driving her crazy. Why would she stay? I mean, I could understand if you were a billionaire. Yeah, I mean, I would be like, oh, sugar, what do you need? Oh my gosh. But the thing is, I was just like, what's keeping you there? And I really would love to see if he's in a season of change, because I hope we all are, for a good reason. But it is hard. It's hard to find that courage. So law of attraction is working with the negativity in your own brain, and manifesting is action. It's action. And the one vibration, the mantra of the one is, I am inspiration. I fearlessly direct my creative ideas into action. So you're bringing in inspiration, you're receiving it, and you're putting it into action. That is working with both the law of attraction and manifesting. Girl, that's okay. Kelsey, look, you got to pass on this one, because so much has been happening in Pisces the last couple of years, girl. I'm just impressed that you are keeping it together. But let me tell you something. It's moving out of emotional Pisces and it's moving into the fire of Aries. And Aries is going to like shift the energy. It really is. So just got to see the new PC spring products. Really? Oh, Kelsey. I wish Pampered Chef could help me cook something that my kids would like to eat. But right now, my kids are living off of chicken nuggets and pizza. I don't even think my children remember what a vegetable tastes like. Yeah. Let me tell you, Kelsey, for everybody out there, things are shifting collectively because Saturn is moving out of emotional Pisces, which is not a bad thing, by the way, but it's moving into fiery Aries. And Mars is Aries ruler. nothing actually rules an Aries. Have y'all met an Aries? I mean, nothing actually rules an Aries. So Saturn's going to move into Aries, and Aries is going to be like, please. Mars is my ruler. Hold my beer. Let's get going here. So it's going to be a very interesting couple of years. Really an interesting 14 years, because Neptune in Aries is going to be some interesting stuff. I had a Lunchable for supper. Oh my gosh. I love that, Kelsey. I love that. I got some like little buns from Costco or Sam's. They're called bao buns, and they're little buns like this big, and they have the ones I got have like garlic chicken in them, and you steam them to cook them. Oh my gosh, girl, those are so good. And seriously, I needed to get something on my stomach because, like I said, I've been on antibiotics more this month than I've been off of them. It's all right though. We're getting into a healing phase. And what did you guys tell me the other day? That I was just I was like getting everything out of the way, so maybe the rest of the year I won't be injured or or have like an ear infection. Oh my gosh, I don't need that. So when we're in this year, while we're like in this 2026, this one vibration and the fire horse energy, I want you guys to remember manifesting and law of attraction go hand in hand. Okay? We're really going to be focusing on the law of attraction next year. But this year is Steve Jobs' vibration. Get out there and bring it in. You can like visualize it. You can, conceptualize, like get it together in your head. Get your focus, get your mindset going. Allow the inspiration to come in. But once it does, kick it off. Like start taking action. Make action happen. And I tell you guys this because there are so many of my clients that I can give you guys examples. This lady last January was laid off. She had a really high paying job. She took her severance package and paid off like a huge chunk of her debt. So all she had was her mortgage and what was remaining of her car payment. Now, she didn't want to touch her savings, which was substantial. So she started just working any job that she could get her hands on. She started doing stuff like Instacart. She was just applying for every job she could find. And all she kept telling me during this period was she was like, I don't want an empty space on my resume. And I've asked her repeatedly if I can use her as an example. And she did tell me yes, but I can't give details so that everybody knows who she is. So she was like, I don't want a blank space on my resume. This is stressing me out to have a blank space on my resume. I'm okay financially. I haven't dipped into my savings yet. I mean, she did like everything, just like paying off all her stuff. Like, I mean, she had her condo, her mortgage, and her car. Well, the remaining amount that was left on her car. And she was just like, I've trimmed everything back. I've trimmed the fat. I'm good. But she was looking for a job like it was her career path. Okay. She would get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, go exercise in her, like the facility that's in her condo building, because she gave up her gym membership. Very smart. She would go work out, and then she would do Instacart. She would do Instacart for like 4 or 5 hours. Then she would come home, she would have lunch, and she would just like answer emails, send out resumes, answer emails, send out resumes. She was like had so many different versions of her resume. It was impressive. And I was like, God dang, girl. So she kept going. I mean, she was just like calling everybody that she had ever worked with, people that she knew in the industry. Like, I'm looking for a job. You know, if you have any openings, let me know. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. She was taking little online classes to try and keep her skills going, you know, anything that she could do. Then she would leave in the afternoon and she would go back to work for Instacart. She did a couple of other things. I can't remember. She was doing just a bunch of side hustle stuff, just trying to like keep it together, trying to keep herself afloat. So she was doing all of this, and about, I want to think it was like the end of March or early April, somewhere around then, this guy that she used to work for called her up and said, "Hey, I heard you were looking for a position. Do you want to come and teach some classes as an adjunct professor at this college?" And he was like, "I work here and I think it would be really great." And she was like, "Okay, well, how much does it pay?" And so he told her how much it paid. And you know, adjunct professors don't make that much money. They don't. And she calls me up and she's like, "Can you believe this? Can you believe that this is the only job offer I've gotten?" And she was like, "I just don't understand. I'm so perfect for some of these jobs that I'm applying for." And I was like, "Yeah, you are perfect for some of those jobs that you're applying for, but so are like 50 or 100 other people." I said, "You know, why are you not looking seriously at this job at this university?" And I said, "This is a prestigious university. It's very respectable." And she said, "It doesn't pay enough." And I said, "It pays more than Instacart, and it's the filler for your resume." And she went, "Oh my gosh." And I said, "You manifested this because all you've been focused on is a filler for your resume." She called him back up and she took the job. She taught last summer. She didn't get the cream of the classes for the summer semester because she waited like 2 days. But she took the job. She got classes for summer, got classes for fall. And she also scheduled the classes so that if she did get a job that she could still teach. She could still finish that out. Well, it did pay more than Instacart. She still kept her job with Instacart or whatever it is that she was working, Uber something, I don't know. Anyway, she was still doing that, but she paid her car off. She now has a prestigious university to fill in the blank spot on her resume. And it's been 1 year. She's still looking for a job, but she has more classes that she's teaching now. She's doing more. She's actually able to keep herself afloat. And I don't think she's had to work like any of these other little side hustles because she was able to pay off her debt with her severance. So I was like, "You manifested this. You brought this in because that's all you were focused on." Is, "I don't want a blank spot on my resume. I need something to fill it." So sometimes it's hard for us when we don't see what we think should be coming in. It comes in a different way. And I have had other people point stuff out to me because I don't see it for myself. And this is also why I don't do readings for myself. But I've had other people point it out to me that this is what you asked for. This is what you manifested. So I say again, be careful what you ask for. Be careful the seeds that you plant because you are going to get that back. Karma, she is a little bitchy. I mean, she can be real sweet, but that can be a bite that stings. So I just want to tell you guys that, like, if you go to readers other than me, and you don't have to even listen to my advice, you need to do what is right for you. Whatever reader you go to, whoever you listen to on YouTube, you need to do what's right for you. Those are the clients that I really, really have strong connections with because they hear what I have to say and they go, okay, I'm not loving that. So I'm going to make some changes and see what I can do. Great. And then they do what is right for them. That's hopefully what I do for my clients, is help them reinforce their confidence in their own intuition. And that's what I hope people can do with the law of attraction and manifesting. Are you going to sometimes fall on your face when you're manifesting? Absolutely. Absolutely. I had partners for podcasts twice before I started doing this by myself. Why? Because I didn't think I could do it by myself. I was afraid to do any of this kind of thing by myself. And then when I finally did go out on my own, it wasn't by choice, by the way. I was so hurt and I was in so much just emotional turmoil that I went way too far in. And I was just like banging my head against the wall, trying to do too much. I was trying to do so much to prove myself to someone that I didn't even actually talk to anymore. That's the wrong kind of manifesting. That's bad. That's bad. I needed to get my head right first. And that's what I started doing in 2024. It took me almost 2 years, okay? But in 2024, I started to get my head right first. And it has taken me just over a year to start to get things back in the right direction. Don't do that to yourself. But if you do, don't worry. Spirit is going to reset your GPS. Spirit is going to reset your spiritual GPS, and you can be back in to the law of attraction and manifesting in the right way. Just give it a minute. You could fall on your face with this. You could. Just have the courage and have the fortitude to keep going, to keep it up. Okay, wait. Where am I at? I need to go to Costco, but I got to pay my membership. Girl, same. Oh my gosh. I had a reading from one of your former business partners the other night. She confirmed what I already knew. What is coming today? Oh, well, that's good, right? Is that good? I think perfectionism can also make it difficult for someone to take action. Absolutely. Because they believe that everything has to go perfectly on the first try. 100%. Oh my gosh, 100%. And I have people that I coach on YouTube channels that do that very thing. The one person that I have that is really killing it on YouTube, and she keeps asking me, why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing this? It's not what I want to do. She's going in a different direction with it, and I have finally come to the conclusion that I do YouTube just for fun. She's doing it for a living. You know what I mean? And she's also doing she's doing a buttload of readings every month. Because she does astrology. She does zodiac readings. And she's doing really good. But what she did was she committed herself to doing them every single day. Every single day she would get off work and she would record 2 or 3 readings. Every single day. And she did that for months. She posted, every day, she kept posting. She kept doing stuff. And I was so proud of her. I was proud for her because she was doing the work. And it was impressive what she was doing. And she was killing it. And she still is. Then I have another person that I'm coaching on YouTube, and she started out saying she wanted to do readings on her channel. Great. That's not a requirement for me to help you on YouTube. That's fine. And then she goes, well, no, I want to cook some too. Okay. And then she was like, well, I want to do vlogging. okay. And she's like, I want to do home decor. I want to do this. I want to do, and I was like, girl, you just got to start. So she spent all this money on a camera, on equipment, on all this stuff, and she's really yet to use it. I think she's posted like 3 videos in 6 or 7 months. Yeah, I have another client that doesn't even want to be seen on her videos. She just wants it to be her hands. So she's setting that up. I was like, I don't see a problem with that, but I mean, let's give it a shot, see what's going on. So she's getting ready to pull the trigger. I have decided to take a step back this year with an organization I belong to. People wanted me to continue in the leadership role, but I said I needed a break, and they said, okay, it'll be good. Oh, well, that's awesome. And again, Kelsey, a lot of that energy is coming out of Pisces. Ooh, that's good. Kelsey, that's perfect. Take a break. 4 of Swords, that's exactly what that means, is take a break. I love it. Get rid of the negativity, because that's like controlling. Oh my gosh. The Strength card is controlling negative thoughts, is controlling the negativity. Love that. Controlling the beast from within. Oh, Kelsey, what's your number? I forgot. And the Sun card, girl, you're manifesting your dreams. So whatever it is that you're taking a break from, yeah, this is great. You're manifesting what you want. But yeah, I forgot what your number is, Kelsey. I'm sorry. I can't remember. But I love this year. Oh my gosh, you're a 1. Okay, so then you know this month has been a 3 month for you. Where's my notebook? Oh, this month has been a 3 month for you. So next month in February is a 4 month. Just wanted to double check. It's a 4 month. So you're going to be manifesting next month. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, love it. That's so awesome. Okay. Well, I hope this has sort of put some of this stuff into perspective. And I really do hope that you guys like use the law of attraction and manifesting in a good way, and not the way that some of these people are talking about online. I mean, really, it was making my head hurt just listening to some of these people, just like influencer type people saying, I'm just going to manifest what I want. I'm going to put this trip to Hawaii on a credit card, and I'll just like manifest the money to pay it off. Okay, that is not how that shit works. Okay, that's not how it works. If it did, I would be in fucking Hawaii right now. Time for some rest and to see what else can come forth. I love it. Oh my gosh. Kelsey. Yeehaw. All right. Well, do you guys feel good about this? And I finally talked to one of the 2 people that were the top commenters for 2025. I'm sending them their stuff, and then I was just like, you know what? I've had a lot of commenters for already 2026. So I told you guys I was going to be sending out New Year gifts. So just watch and see when I reach out to some of you, because it has taken me a minute with like, oh my gosh. I mean, seriously, this January for me, like injury and then ear infection, I am really doing good. I'm doing good. So, but I'm so excited, like looking at all of the, stuff. I was like, oh my gosh. And then one lady that I called and I was like, hey, you were the top commenter for, I was like, you were the top commenter for like 2025. And she started laughing and she was like, okay, what, what do I get? Like, she goes, do I get a box of rice-a-roni or do I get, it was funny. So anyway, but I'm also sending her, with her crystals, I'm sending her a box of Kiss nails. If you're watching, I'm sending this to you because she was talking to me about getting her nails done. And I was like, girl, these are the nails that I use. First of all, I'm lazy. Secondly, I destroy my nails. I destroy them. Working in my yard, doing stuff with my kids, I destroy them. So I don't want to pay like an enormous amount of money when I go to like the nail salon, even though I miss going to the nail salon. Just, the attention, whatever. But dude, this is like $8.99. And y'all see my hands? Well, when it's not damaged. But these are pretty awesome nails. I love them. I love them. But it has to be the acrylic ones. Okay? And it doesn't have to be the nude acrylic, but it just has to be the acrylic ones. Because those are the ones that will really, they'll stand up to like opening up a can. They'll stand up to carrying a bag of groceries. They'll stand up to my dog's leash. They stand up, okay? They don't last forever, but they last for a good week. Yeah. So, there you have it. Yeah, so I'm sending that to her. So if she's watching, because she usually watches in the reruns, if she's watching, you get a little bonus in your little gift bag. Yeah. And honestly, I may send you a cat, but the cats have been, it's been so cold. They've been in their little igloos. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. This is their igloo. They both have one. I originally only have one of these down in my office because Mouse didn't like to lay in it. He likes to, like, it squishes down. So he always laid on it. Okay? He didn't like to lay in it. But then I popped it up one day because it was like vacuuming it and cleaning it. And mercury was like in it like a shot. And I was like, okay. Well, the other cats that are in the house, they don't like them either. They prefer to lay on my feet at night. But they prefer to, curl up usually in the clothes that I've just cleaned, just washed and put on the couch waiting for me to fold, So, I just brought another one down into my office and now Mouse has decided he likes to get in there too. Fred may like one. You don't want me to send you a cat? Come on, Mel. Fred may actually like one of those. I got them from Walmart. But I also think they have them on Amazon Baz. Yeah, and they're really cool because they'll squish down and they pop up. And yeah, Mouse didn't used to like it, but now he's like, oh, it's so cold. So he's in it a lot. Because I came down here this morning and they usually will meet me at the door. And I was like, oh, where are they? And they were both in their little igloos. I was like, all right. All right, you guys. I've kept you for long enough. I've kept you for an hour and a half. I have 2 dachshunds. Oh my gosh, those cute little dogs. Yep, I'll bet they do have them for dogs, for small dogs. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm getting it together, and I may start doing some extra lives. People seem to like it. Don't know why. I'm like talking everybody's ears off. But again, that was like me talking negatively to myself. But it's still, you know, when you're sitting on the couch, you have time to order lids for your ball jars. I really do like this lid though. It's not leaking. The other lid was like leaking all over the place, and every time I used it, like I was having to like put a paper towel around the front so that I could drink out of it and it wouldn't drip all over me. That's unpleasant. We don't need that situation. So whatever. But all right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope y'all have an awesome week. I should be back on Tuesday, and I'll start putting together something so that we can make a vision board, and maybe we can make a different kind of vision board for our resident Pisces. Love that. So yeah, maybe we can make a different kind of vision board. That'd be fun. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. I will see y'all on Tuesday. And what are you going to do until we see each other again? Get out there and make your magic. Bye, y'all.